Good evening, this is Cheryl at Sea Spirit Tarot. And last night I stumbled upon a video by Rochelle at Amethyst Ascension, and she was doing a VR to a game you play to Avory Faucette. I'll get it right in the box below. And it's hashtag tarot characters. Rochelle didn't... Avory, I went and looked at hers, and she did real well, one card each. Rochelle, of course, expanded hers. I decided I would follow the rules and do one card each. Drew the cards last night, but didn't get the video done. But somehow, my selection grew. So, I'm here to do tarot characters, a game to play, and a video response to Avory Faucette. And the first question is, who would you not want to meet in a dark alley? And this card I chose totally for the picture. He takes no prisoners. Pretty evil looking villain to run into with his swords. But I also chose a second one, which was kind of the first one that this card and I have some issues. But the reason I chose this card is because at my age and my physical state right now, I have some insecurity. And sometimes this card represents that. And these two swords here that are stable, they're kind of like my legs right now. I'm waiting on knee surgery and I can't move. And that would induce some fear, and I wouldn't think. I was raised in Houston, back when it wasn't so bad. I've lived in Southside Chicago. I live here in Galveston, that's very diverse. But you got to have a little streetwise. But, you know, I'm not going to go walk through the hood 12:30 at night either. Right? Who would I want to take to Disney World with me? I'm the same as Rochelle. My family. She chose the Ten of Cups. But just due to the picture here, I decided to combine it and make it two. And the reason I did that is because our family has been apart and we've been in different places, and it's been a trip, this single mother family. We've been estranged, we've had our problems, but currently my daughter and her husband live here, and they're both awesome. And her daughter and her man and my two great-grandchildren just came. So that's actually 4 generations of us, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 generations of women. And I have fun with all of them. I would want to take my entire family to Disneyland. Who would I want close to me? Who would I want close to me when someone close to me experiences a death? Well, I chose the Chariot, and I chose this out of reality because this is how it's always been. Maybe it's because I'm the Pisces and I took off versus my Scorpio sister. You know, she was so emotional that, you know, everyone had to gather there because she just, you know how that is. But I've always been balanced about this, death. And I don't believe that death is the end. And as an RN, I have seen plenty death. Plenty death. And we don't get close to our patients, you know, but sometimes we do. And the Chariot, in its strength and balance, is ruled by the moon, Mother Moon, to give me the strength of my female, receptive, caring self in the situation, and my belief system that it is not the end. Some say death is ecstatic, orgasmic. And certainly here in Rebirth, it looks like these people are having a pretty damn good time. So the sadness of the death is not for the person. The sadness of the death is for those that are left behind. What was the next one? Who would I like to drink or get high with? Well, for one, I chose the Magician. I'm an old hippie. We, in those days, the drugs were very, very pure. And you take some acid, and it is timeless. And you see what Mendelbaum theory, the patterns, the telescoping patterns, the holographs. It also opened chakras that had not been opened in humanity since pre-Vietnam War. So I would like to take the magician. I would even go to ayahuasca, but I can't hike through the Amazon. I don't have the money to go, but I have a couple trips I would take. But sit around with some friends and having some Mercury magical discussions. I don't drink. I just got tired of the conversation around drinking, the whole vibrational plane of it. So I didn't quit drinking. I just quit drinking. But all alcohol has an entity, and I might have a little bit of tequila because that's an entity kind of like peyote. And my friends that I would probably do that with are of the magical shaman healing type. So I think that could be, it's intellectually stimulating and fun and fill my cups with joy and knowing. Who would I give a friendship bracelet and a map to my treehouse? Well, this is almost the same answer. And I chose the Knight of Cups. One is I love horses. I read a book one time called Cowboys Are My Weakness. Oh gosh, I can't remember her name. I never thought I'd forget the author. But anyway, it's a book of short stories, and basically what she figures out, it's not the cowboys. It's the horses she was in love with all along. Also, he's searching for the Grail. So he's looking for love, not especially maybe personal love, but the universal law love to fill the Grail. And I like to have conversations about endless possibilities. And maybe maybe I give it to both these people. Put a little spontaneity into that, a little conversation, and looking at everything through new eyes. Who would I let borrow my car? I don't have a car. But the only person I ever did let borrow it was my daughter. But a car's insured. But my bicycle, the only person, once I lent my bicycle to this guy, and he says it was stolen. It was like a really nice road bike, custom made. But I'm sure he hawked it for a 6-pack of beer or whatever you could get out of it. So the only person I would loan my bicycle to would be my daughter, because she would be careful, because she respects things. She's a Taurus. She is an Empress. She wouldn't be riding through all the stickle burrs and getting flat tires. I let someone ride my bike once just so they could see how different it rode than the standard bikes because of the pedal placement. And first thing they did was go like 8 feet and crash over on it. So my bicycle, and my computer are pretty important to me. So the Empress, my daughter, I would let her borrow my bicycle. And I've let her borrow my truck. Oh, she's even taken my rigs and gotten them stuck and done all kinds of things. But those were the old days. Ask for advice on a tough relationship. Well, I don't have a real good record with relationships. That guy with the swords and the bag is more like my relationship synopsis. But I would choose the Queen of Swords, because she's been through a lot and she sees things plainly. When I tend to get too lost in love, everybody's a diamond in the rough and everybody is so wonderful. And then I would like to have someone that makes some plans. And see here, these actually have some of these from a class I took. They're like coasters or, whatever, how they hand that stuff out or you can buy it or whatever. To look at this with a plan, because spiritually, I want, if I ever was in a relationship again, it would have to be a spiritual relationship. But money would be nice too. Okay. And who would I take on a shopping spree? Again, the Empress, my daughter. I'm not a good shopper. I go in and there's all this stuff and I'm just like, but she can go through everything and she can find things that are me, that are like me, that fit me. My taste, my attitude. And she always finds the bargains. And she's a Taurus. So she wants to be comfortable. And she wants it to be luxurious. So her being down here close to me, my life has actually become much more luxurious. The other person I would take is my girlfriend who's an Aquarius. I'll represent her by the star card. Because we go to lectures, we go to rock and gym shows, and she's very knowledgeable, and gives me really good feedback on things I'm looking at. And we can intuit well together. So that's the whole spread. I'm going to post that. 11 minutes and 32 seconds. If you sat through this, I thank you very, very much. And be sure and link this. Aubrey said she'd really like it if we link this back to her. I'm not sure how to do it. When I do verbal responses, I put the A at thing back to them, but I've really never gotten hardly ever a response to the person I verbally responded to. So if there's something that I'm supposed to be doing, please drop that in the comment box below. Look, I've learned that on YouTube. So, thank you for listening. I hope you participate. It's kind of a fun game to play with the cards versus laying them out and telling a story, which is what we're doing, but we're looking at questions. So, if you listen, thank you very much. Have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful evening.